I found the DNA test in my husband's Bible during Sunday morning worship. Not in a drawer at home, not in his car, in his Bible, the leather-bound King James Version he carried to church every single Sunday, the one he held when he taught men's Bible study, the one he raised when he said amen to the sermon. The envelope was tucked between the pages of Proverbs, right there between "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and in all your ways acknowledge him." And when I opened it, because I couldn't not open it, I saw 3 names on the DNA paternity test results. My husband's name, Deacon Robert Chambers, age 47, a woman's name I didn't recognize, Jasmine Mitchell, age 31, and a child's name, Elijah Mitchell, age 6. The result at the bottom, printed in clear black letters: probability of paternity, 99.9%. My husband had a 6-year-old son I knew nothing about. Let me start from the beginning, because you need to understand who I am, who he was, and what this discovery meant in the context of everything we'd built together. My name is Nicole Chambers. I'm 49 years old, and I've been a member of Greater Grace Missionary Baptist Church for 27 years. I was saved there at 23, met my husband there at 25, got married in that sanctuary at 27, raised our 2 daughters, Maya, 22, and Kayla, 19, in that church. Robert and I have been married for 23 years. He's been a deacon at Greater Grace for 15 years. He leads the men's ministry. He serves on the building committee. He's the first one at church on Sunday mornings to unlock the doors, and the last one to leave after counting the offering. We're that couple, the ones people point to when they talk about Christian marriage, the ones who pray together, serve together, and sit in the 5th row every single Sunday morning. Right side, center section, 5 seats from the aisle. We look solid. We look blessed. We look like we have it all together. But on Sunday, March 17th, 2024, everything I thought I knew shattered in the middle of the second praise song. It started when Robert asked me to hold his Bible while he went to the restroom. We were standing during worship, and he leaned over and said, "Baby, can you hold this? I'll be right back." I took his Bible without thinking twice. It was heavy. He had notes and cards and bookmarks stuffed in it from years of study and preaching. I sat down with it on my lap while the praise team sang, "How Great is Our God." I wasn't planning to open it, but it was open when he handed it to me, and something slipped out when I set it down. An envelope. White. Standard business size. No writing on the outside. I picked it up to tuck it back in. That's when I felt the thickness of it, the weight. Something substantial was inside. I shouldn't have opened it. I know that. It was his Bible, his privacy, his business. But something in my spirit whispered, "Look." So I did. I pulled out the folded papers inside. Official-looking documents on letterhead from Atlanta DNA Testing Services. The date on top, February 28th, 2024, less than 3 weeks ago. And then I saw the names, the results, the truth. My husband, the deacon, the Bible study leader, the man who preached to other men about integrity and faithfulness, had a 6-year-old son with a woman named Jasmine Mitchell. I stared at those papers for what felt like an eternity, but was probably only 30 seconds. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. The praise music around me faded into white noise. All I could see were those words. Probability of paternity, 99.9%. Robert returned to his seat. He reached for his Bible. I handed it to him, with the envelope sitting on top of it. He looked down, and I watched every ounce of color drain from his face. "Nicole," he started. "Not here," I said. My voice was calm, eerily calm. "Not now." He nodded, put the envelope back in his Bible, closed it, held it against his chest with both hands like he was protecting something precious. We stood through the rest of worship. We sat through the sermon. We stood for the altar call. And the entire time, I felt like I was watching my life from outside my body, like I was floating above the sanctuary, looking down at this woman in the 5th row who had no idea her entire marriage was built on a lie. Pastor Williams preached about trust that morning, about how God is faithful even when people fail us, about how he sees what's hidden and brings it to light in his perfect timing. I wanted to laugh, or scream, or cry. Instead, I sat there with my hands folded in my lap, my face composed, and my heart breaking into pieces so small I didn't know if they could ever be put back together. After service, Robert tried to talk to me in the parking lot. "Nicole, please, let me explain." "Get in the car," I said. "We'll talk at home." The 15-minute drive from church to our house was the longest 15 minutes of my life. Robert kept trying to start sentences and then stopping. I kept my eyes on the road and said nothing. When we got home, our daughters were already there. They'd gone to the early service and left before we did. "Hey, Mom, Dad, we're making lunch," Maya called from the kitchen. "That's nice, baby," I called back. My voice sounded normal, steady, like I hadn't just discovered my husband's secret son. "Your dad and I need to talk in the bedroom for a minute. We'll be down soon." I walked upstairs. Robert followed. I closed the bedroom door, locked it, turned to face him. "Talk," I said. "Let me pause here to recap what I've told you so far, because I know this is heavy. My name is Nicole Chambers. I'm 49 years old, and I've been married to Robert, a deacon at Greater Grace Missionary Baptist Church, for 23 years. We have 2 daughters together, Maya, who's 22, and Kayla, who's 19. During Sunday worship on March 17th, 2024, Robert asked me to hold his Bible while he went to the restroom. When I sat down with it, an envelope fell out. Inside was a DNA paternity test dated February 28th. It showed that Robert is the biological father of a 6-year-old boy named Elijah Mitchell. The mother is a woman named Jasmine Mitchell, age 31. I confronted Robert after church, and we've just gone into our bedroom to talk. Now let me tell you what he said and how this all came to light. Robert sat on the edge of the bed, put his head in his hands. "Her name is Jasmine Mitchell," he said. She was a member of the church 7 years ago." "Was," I repeated, past tense. "She left, moved away. I didn't know she was pregnant. I swear to God, Nicole, I didn't know." I stood there, arms crossed, waiting for more. "It was a mistake," he said. "One time, one stupid, terrible mistake. We were working on a church project together, the youth building renovation. We stayed late one night going over blueprints. Everyone else had left. We were alone, and we crossed a line. Once," I said flatly, "you're telling me you had sex with a woman from our church once. She got pregnant, moved away, and you never knew until now?" "I swear that's the truth. She never told me. She just disappeared. I thought maybe she'd moved for work or family or something. I didn't think anything of it." "And when did you find out?" He took a shaky breath. 3 weeks ago. She reached out to me on Facebook, sent me a message with a picture of Elijah, said he was my son. She said she was tired of carrying the secret, that Elijah was asking about his father, that she wanted me to take a paternity test to confirm. And you did. I had to know. I couldn't just ignore it. But you could ignore telling your wife." He looked up at me then. His eyes were red. "I was going to tell you. I was waiting for the results first. I didn't want to blow up our marriage over something that might not even be true. Well, it's true. 99.9% true. And now what? You have a 6-year-old son who apparently wants to know his father. What's your plan, Robert?" "I don't know," he whispered. "I don't know." I walked to the window, looked out at our backyard, at the swing set we'd bought when the girls were little, at the garden I'd planted every spring for 20 years, at the life we'd built together that was now revealed to be a lie. "How old were we when this happened?" I asked. "What? How old were we? When you slept with her?" He did the math. "I was 40. You were 43. We'd been married 16 years. Our daughters were 15 and 12, and you had an affair with a 24-year-old woman from our church." "It wasn't an affair. It was one night." "Don't." I turned to face him. "Don't minimize this. You broke your vows. You betrayed our marriage. You put our family at risk, and then you hid it for 7 years. That's not one mistake, Robert. That's a pattern of lies. Nicole, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Who else knows? He looked confused. What? Who else knows about Elijah? About the test? About any of this? No one, just me and Jasmine. Not Pastor Williams? God, no, I couldn't tell him. But you kept that test in your Bible, the Bible you carry to church, the Bible you use when you teach. You kept evidence of your sin in the literal Word of God. He had no answer for that. I took a deep breath. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to call Pastor Williams today, and you're going to tell him everything. Then you're going to step down from the deacon board and from men's ministry leadership. Nicole, I'm not done. You're also going to tell our daughters, not today, not this week, but soon. Because if you have a son, they have a brother, and they deserve to know the truth. And us? He asked quietly. What about us? I don't know, I said honestly. I don't know if I can forgive this. I don't know if I want to stay married to you. I don't know anything right now except that I need time and space to figure out what comes next. Please don't leave me, he said. Please. I'll do anything. You already did everything, I said. That's the problem. I left the room, went downstairs, told the girls their father and I needed some time apart, that he'd be staying with his brother for a while. They asked questions. I gave vague answers, told them we'd explain more later. Robert came down an hour later with a suitcase. He kissed our daughters goodbye, looked at me like he wanted to say something, then left. I sat on the couch with Maya and Kayla on either side of me, and I held them while they cried, even though they didn't fully understand why. The next morning, Robert called Pastor Williams. I know because Pastor Williams called me an hour later. Sister Nicole, he said. His voice was heavy. Robert told me everything. I want you to know, I'm heartbroken. For you, for your family, for our church. Thank you, Pastor. He submitted his resignation from the deacon board. I've accepted it. He'll also be stepping back from all leadership and teaching roles until this is resolved. I appreciate that. I want you to know that this church stands with you. Whatever you need, counseling, support, prayer, we're here. I need people to know the truth, I said. I'm tired of pretending. Tired of looking like we're perfect when we're falling apart. I understand. Would you like me to address it from the pulpit? Or would you prefer to keep it more private? I thought about it. The pulpit. This Sunday. I don't want rumors. I want the truth out there so people can stop speculating. All right, I'll do that. But Nicole, are you sure? I'm sure. Secrets only have power when you keep them hidden. I'm done hiding. That Sunday, March 24th, 1 week after I found the DNA test, Pastor Williams addressed the congregation during announcements. Church family, he said, we need to address a difficult situation involving one of our leaders. Deacon Robert Chambers has resigned from his position due to moral failure. He engaged in adultery 7 years ago, which resulted in a child. He recently learned of the child's existence and informed church leadership. Sister Nicole Chambers is aware and is navigating this painful season with grace and faith. I'm asking this church to surround her and her daughters with love, support, and prayer. Do not engage in gossip. Do not ask invasive questions. Simply love them as Christ loves us, with compassion and without judgment. The sanctuary was silent. You could have heard a pin drop. I was sitting in the 5th row, right side, center section, 5 seats from the aisle, alone, with my daughters on either side of me. People were staring, whispering. Some looked shocked, some looked sympathetic. Some looked like they'd suspected something all along. After service, at least 30 women came up to me, hugged me, prayed with me, told me they were sorry, told me they were there if I needed anything. Mother Beatrice, one of the church mothers who'd been a member for 50 years, took my hands in hers. Baby, she said, you hold your head high. You didn't do anything wrong, and God sees you. He honors the faithful. You remember that? Yes, ma'am, I whispered. And another thing, don't let nobody pressure you about what you decide to do with your marriage. That's between you and God. You hear me? I hear you. She squeezed my hands and walked away. Over the next few weeks, I started learning more details. Not because I was snooping, but because Robert was, finally, being honest. Jasmine Mitchell had moved away when she found out she was pregnant. She'd told her family the father was an ex-boyfriend who wasn't in the picture. She'd raised Elijah on her own, working 2 jobs, living in a small apartment, doing her best. But Elijah had started asking questions. Why don't I have a daddy? Where is my father? Why doesn't he want to know me? And Jasmine realized she couldn't keep lying. So she reached out to Robert, sent him photos, told him the truth, asked him to take the DNA test. Robert had done it, gotten the results, and then kept them hidden in his Bible. Like if he didn't talk about it, it wouldn't be real. But God has a way of exposing what's hidden. And on that Sunday morning, in that moment when Robert asked me to hold his Bible, God decided it was time for the truth to come to light. I also learned that Robert had been sending Jasmine money, not through official channels, cash, Venmo, trying to help financially now that he knew Elijah was his son. He hadn't told me, hadn't asked, just started sending our money to support a child I didn't even know existed. When I confronted him about it, he said, "He's my son, Nicole. I can't just ignore him." "You're right," I said. "You can't. But you also can't make decisions about our finances to support a child from your affair without discussing it with your wife. What do you want me to do? I want you to be honest. For once in 7 years, just be completely honest with me. How much have you sent her?" "About $3,000 over the past 3 weeks." I closed my eyes. $3,000. I know. I'm sorry. But he's 6 years old, Nicole. He needs things. School supplies, clothes, food. I can't just... I'm not saying don't support him. I'm saying you should have told me. We should have figured this out together, like married people do. He nodded. "You're right. I should have told you. You should have told me a lot of things." Let me pause here again to catch you up. After confronting Robert at home, I told him to call Pastor Williams and step down from all leadership positions. Pastor Williams publicly addressed the situation the following Sunday. He told the church that Robert had committed adultery 7 years ago, and that he recently discovered he has a 6-year-old son as a result. I've been receiving support from church members while trying to process everything. I learned that the mother, Jasmine Mitchell, raised the child alone. She only recently reached out to Robert for DNA confirmation. Robert has been sending money, $3,000 in 3 weeks, without telling me. Now let me tell you what happened when I insisted on meeting Jasmine and Elijah, and how our family began to deal with this new reality. 2 months after I found the DNA test, I told Robert I wanted to meet Jasmine and Elijah. He looked at me like I was crazy. "You want to meet them?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because if your son is going to be part of your life, and he should be, then he's going to be part of our daughters' lives. They have a half-brother, and I need to see this child. I need to understand who he is. I need to know this is real." "Nicole, you don't have to do this." "I do. For me. I need to see with my own eyes what your choices created." He arranged it. Jasmine agreed to meet us at a neutral location, a park. She'd drive down with Elijah for the afternoon. Robert, our daughters, and I drove there on a Saturday in late May. The 3-hour drive was quiet, tense. Maya and Kayla knew, by this point, that they had a half-brother. We'd told them a month earlier. They'd taken it about as well as you'd expect. Shock, anger, confusion, tears. But they'd also asked questions, wanted to know about him, wondered if they'd ever meet him. Now they were about to. We arrived at the park at 2 in the afternoon. Jasmine Mitchell was already there, sitting at a picnic table, with a little boy beside her. I saw him from across the parking lot, and my heart clenched. He looked just like Robert. Same eyes, same smile, same dimple in his left cheek. There was no denying it. This was Robert's son. We walked over. Jasmine stood. She was pretty, young, nervous. "Hi," she said. Her voice was quiet. "I'm Jasmine. This is Elijah." Elijah looked up at us with wide, curious eyes. "Are you my daddy?" he asked, looking at Robert. Robert's voice broke. Yeah, buddy, I am. Elijah smiled. Cool. Kids, they're so resilient, so accepting, so quick to love. I looked at Jasmine. Hi, I'm Nicole, Robert's wife. I know, she said. I'm sorry for everything. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I know you didn't, I said. And I meant it. I was angry at Robert, hurt, betrayed. But Jasmine? She was a 24-year-old woman who'd made a mistake with a married man, then paid the price alone for 6 years. I couldn't hate her. We sat at the picnic table, Jasmine and Robert on one side, me and the girls on the other, Elijah between them, coloring in a book. We talked about everything, how it happened, why she didn't tell him, how she found the courage to reach out, what she wanted for Elijah. I don't want anything from you, she said to me. I'm not trying to break up your family or take your husband. I just want Elijah to know his father. That's all. I understand, I said. And for what it's worth, I don't blame you for this. Robert made vows. You didn't. He's the one who broke them. She looked relieved. Thank you. We spent 2 hours at that park, watching Maya and Kayla meet their brother, watching Robert try to connect with a son he'd never known, watching Elijah laugh and play and ask a million questions. And I sat there, watching it all, and felt nothing. Numb, disconnected, like I was watching someone else's life unfold. On the drive home, Maya spoke up from the back seat. Mom! Yeah, baby. Are you okay? I don't know, I said honestly. I'm trying to be. Are you going to stay married to Dad? I don't know that either. Do you still love him? I thought about it. I love who I thought he was. I don't know if I love who he actually is. She was quiet for a moment. Then, I think that's fair. Over the next few months, Robert started visiting Elijah regularly. Once a month, he'd drive there for the weekend. Sometimes the girls would go with him. Sometimes I would. Sometimes he went alone. Elijah started calling him Dad, started telling people at school he had a father now, started showing him off like a prize he'd won. And Robert was trying to be present, trying to make up for 6 years of absence, trying to build a relationship with a son who deserved better than what he'd been given. But trying doesn't erase the past, and it doesn't heal the wounds. I started going to therapy, individual counseling with a Christian therapist who understood the complexity of faith, betrayal, and marriage. She asked me hard questions. Do you want to stay married to Robert? I don't know. What would it take for you to trust him again? I don't know if I can. What do you need from him right now? Honesty, time, space, and maybe for him to stop expecting me to just get over this because he said he's sorry. Have you considered separation? We're already separated. He's living with his brother. Have you considered divorce? Every day. But I don't know if I want that either. I'm just stuck. Stuck is a valid place to be. You don't have to make any decisions right now. You're allowed to sit in the uncertainty. That helped. Giving myself permission to not know, to not have it all figured out, to not be strong and decisive and faithful every second of every day. I learned that grief isn't linear. Some days I was angry. Some days I was sad. Some days I felt nothing at all. And that was okay. I also learned that forgiveness is complicated. People at church kept telling me I needed to forgive Robert. That's what Christians do. That's what God commands. And I agreed. Eventually, I would forgive him. But forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean staying married. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. I could forgive Robert and still walk away. And I needed people to understand that. Mother Beatrice did. She pulled me aside after church one Sunday and said, "Baby, don't let nobody guilt you into staying just because you're a Christian. God understands when a covenant is broken beyond repair. Do what's best for you and those girls. You hear me?" "Yes, ma'am. And if you decide to stay, that's valid too. Ain't nobody's business but yours. You do what God tells you to do. Not what the church ladies think you should do." I hugged her. "Thank you." "You're welcome. Now go on and get yourself some of that chicken Mother Johnson made for the fellowship. You need to eat. Let me catch you up one more time." I met Jasmine and 6-year-old Elijah at a park. Seeing him confirmed he's definitely Robert's son. Our daughters met their half-brother and handled it as well as could be expected. Robert began visiting Elijah monthly, trying to build a relationship. I started individual Christian therapy to process the betrayal, to figure out what I want. Church members have been supportive, especially Mother Beatrice. She told me forgiveness doesn't require staying in the marriage. I've been living in uncertainty, not making any quick decisions about the future of our marriage. Now let me tell you what happened 8 months after I found that DNA test, and how I finally made my choice. 8 months after I found the DNA test, Robert asked if we could go to marriage counseling together. I've been going to individual counseling, he said, working on myself, understanding why I did what I did, and I want us to try to rebuild, if you're willing. Why now? I asked. Because I've realized something. I can't fix this on my own. I can't earn your trust back by trying harder. I need help. We need help. And I'm asking, begging, for you to give us a chance. I thought about it, prayed about it, talked to my therapist about it, and I agreed. We started going to marriage counseling with Dr. Monroe, a Christian counselor who specialized in infidelity and restoration. It was hard, brutal even. She didn't let us hide. She asked questions that cut deep. Robert, do you understand the full scope of what you've taken from Nicole? I betrayed her trust. Not just that. What else? He thought. Her sense of security? Yes. And? Her belief in our marriage? Yes. And? I don't know. Her identity. For 23 years, Nicole built her identity around being your wife, being a deacon's wife, being part of a strong Christian marriage. You took that from her. You made her question everything she thought she knew about herself and her life. Do you understand that? He started crying. Yes, God, yes, I'm so sorry, Nicole. I'm so sorry. Dr. Monroe turned to me. Nicole, what do you need from Robert? I need him to stop hiding, stop protecting himself, stop minimizing. I need him to own what he did, and stop expecting me to move on according to his timeline. Have you told him that? Yes. Robert, have you heard her? I thought I had, but I don't think I fully understood until now. We kept going. Week after week, session after session. Slowly, painfully, working through the wreckage. I learned things about Robert I'd never known. About his childhood, about his insecurities, about the ways he'd compartmentalized his life to avoid facing uncomfortable truths. I learned that his affair with Jasmine wasn't really about Jasmine. It was about him feeling invisible, unappreciated, like he was just a role, deacon, husband, father, and not a person. That didn't excuse what he did, but it helped me understand it. And Robert learned things about me, about how I'd sacrificed parts of myself to be the perfect deacon's wife, how I'd suppressed my own needs to serve the church, how I'd felt alone in our marriage long before I found that DNA test. We were both broken, both hurting, both realizing our marriage had been fractured long before Jasmine Mitchell entered the picture. In December, 9 months after I found the test, Dr. Monroe asked us a question. Do you both want to stay married? I looked at Robert. He looked at me. Yes, he said. I want to stay married. Nicole, I took a deep breath. I don't know. Part of me wants to. Part of me doesn't. Part of me thinks we can rebuild. Part of me thinks too much has been broken. That's honest, Dr. Monroe said. And honesty is where we start. We kept working, but I also started asking myself harder questions. Could I really forgive him? Not just say the words, but actually release the bitterness and resentment? Could I trust him again? Let him back into my heart fully, without constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop? Could I look at him and see my husband, not the man who betrayed me? And most importantly, did I want to? In February 2025, 11 months after finding the test, I made my decision. I told Robert I wanted to separate. Not divorce, not yet, but a formal separation, where we lived apart, continued counseling individually, and figured out what we each wanted, without the pressure of living together. "How long?" he asked. 6 months, maybe longer, I don't know. "And then?" "Then we'll decide, together, whether to reconcile or divorce." He wasn't happy about it, but he agreed. He moved into his own apartment. We continued co-parenting our daughters. He continued visiting Elijah. And I started learning who Nicole was outside of being Robert's wife. I took a painting class, joined a book club, started volunteering at a women's shelter, reconnected with old friends I'd lost touch with over the years. I was lonely sometimes, sad sometimes, angry sometimes. But I was also free. Free from the weight of pretending. Free from the performance of being the perfect deacon's wife. Free to figure out what I actually wanted, instead of what I thought I should want. In August 2025, 17 months after finding the test, Robert and I had dinner. "I've been thinking," he said. About us, about our marriage, about whether we're going to make it." "And? I love you, Nicole. I want us to work, but I'm realizing something. I don't think you want this anymore." I was quiet for a moment. Then, "You're right, I don't." "Why?" "Because I don't trust you, and I don't think I ever will. Not fully. Not the way I need to." "And that's not a marriage. That's just two people living in the same house, pretending everything is fine." "So that's it? We're done?" "I think we've been done for a long time. We just didn't want to admit it." He nodded slowly. "What about the girls? They're adults. They'll be okay. They'll understand. And Elijah, you'll still be his father. That doesn't change. You'll still visit him, still support him, still be present. But I don't need to be part of that equation anymore." "And what about you? What do you want?" "I want peace," I said. "I want to stop carrying anger and hurt. I want to rebuild my life on a foundation of truth instead of secrets. And I can't do that while I'm still tied to you." "I understand." We filed for divorce in September. It was finalized in December 2025, 21 months after I found the DNA test. We divided assets, split finances, worked out custody arrangements for our youngest daughter, who was still in college. It was amicable, as much as a divorce can be. And on the day the judge signed the papers, I felt relief. Not joy, not triumph, just relief. I was free. Today, I'm 52 years old. I've been divorced for 6 months now. I still attend Greater Grace Missionary Baptist Church. I still sit in the 5th row, right side, center section, 5 seats from the aisle. But now it's just me. Robert attends a different church now. He's still involved in Elijah's life. He pays child support, visits regularly. He's trying to be the father he should have been from the beginning. Our daughters have a relationship with their half-brother. They text with him, video call, visit occasionally. They've built something good out of something painful. And me? I'm learning to be okay with being alone. Learning that my identity isn't tied to a man or a role or a performance. Learning that God sees me, not as Deacon Chambers' wife, but as Nicole. Just Nicole. I've learned something important through all of this. God exposes what needs to be exposed when it needs to be exposed. If I hadn't found that DNA test in Robert's Bible on that Sunday morning, I might never have known about Elijah. Robert might have kept hiding it, kept sending money in secret, kept living a double life. But God didn't let that happen. He made sure I found it. On a Sunday, during worship, in the literal Word of God, because hidden things can't stay hidden forever. Truth has a way of coming to light, and when it does, we have to decide what we're going to do with it. I could have stayed. I could have forgiven Robert and rebuilt our marriage, and that would have been valid. Some women can do that. Some marriages survive infidelity and come out stronger. But I couldn't, and that's okay too. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. Sometimes it means releasing someone to their own journey while you walk yours. And that's what I did. Luke chapter 8, verse 17 says, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." God sees what we hide, He knows what we conceal, and in His perfect timing, He brings it to light. Not to punish us, not to shame us, but to liberate us. I was liberated by that DNA test, by the truth it revealed, by the choice it forced me to make. And today, I stand free, whole, at peace with my decision. If you're listening to this story and you've discovered a painful truth about someone you love, I want you to know something. It's okay to take your time figuring out what comes next. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. And it's okay to choose yourself, to walk away from something that's broken beyond repair, to build a new life on a foundation of truth instead of trying to salvage one built on lies. God sees you. He knows what you're walking through, and He will give you the strength, wisdom, and courage to make the right decision for you. If this story resonated with you, would you do me a favor? Hit that like button. Let me know this story spoke to you. Leave a comment. Tell me about a time when God exposed a hidden truth in your life. Tell me how you navigated betrayal or difficult decisions. Tell me what helped you heal. Your story matters, and someone else needs to hear it. And please, subscribe to Sister Circle Stories. We're building a community of women who tell the truth, even when it's painful, who walk in faith even when the path is unclear, who choose healing over hiding. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for walking with me through the discovery, the grief, and the healing. May God give you discernment to see what needs to be seen. May He give you courage to face what needs to be faced. May He give you wisdom to know when to fight for something and when to let it go. And may He remind you that you are seen, known, loved, and never alone, even in your darkest valley. Stay strong, sisters. Stay faithful. Stay true, because the truth really will set you free. God bless you.